Welcome back. We have something rather special for this next section. We're going to delve into a delicate situation in which a community paramedic employs motivational interviewing techniques to navigate a mother's concerns about her child being evaluated by a community paramedic. Witness the power of empathy, open questions, and reflective listening as they work together to find a solution that respects the family's autonomy while ensuring the child's health, safety, and well-being. As you watch this, ask yourself, what questions would I ask? How would I show the mother my concern? How would I show the mother that I'm listening to her and I care about her thoughts and ideas? How would you express your appreciation for the family's autonomy while ensuring that the child receives all appropriate care and assessments to ensure their safety? I'll see you when it's over. Mrs. Anderson, thank you for joining me today. My name is James McLaughlin. I'm a community paramedic, and I was asked by the school to come and evaluate Oliver today regarding some behavioral challenges that he had. Can you tell me what you know?
Well, not very much. Again, I was the last person called, but there's no way that you're evaluating my son.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm sorry that that information didn't get to you sooner. That absolutely should have happened, and you have every right to be upset. As far as the evaluation goes, what are your concerns with that?
Well, this is something that we can deal with at home. We don't need to bring in other people.
Okay. I absolutely respect your desire for autonomy for your family, and I think that speaks volumes that you care enough about your family that you want to protect your son. So I think we should start with maybe explaining what happened today and why it was called out. Would that be okay?
That would be great. I still don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So let me tell you what I know. My understanding is that Oliver was in the cafeteria and he came up and asked for more food. And the cafeteria attendant told him that lunch was over and it was time to go back to class. And Oliver got very upset and started to scream and yell and used a lot of profanity and made some suicidal and homicidal statements in front of the staff. And that was very concerning for the teachers. Have you noticed any behavior like this with Oliver?
Well, he's been acting out a little bit more since we took away his gaming system.
Yeah, can you tell me more about that?
I don't know very much about these systems, but I walked by and overheard other kids talking to Oliver. They were using really bad language and being really mean to him. So we took it away, and he's been acting out a little bit since then.
Okay, so it sounds like you've noticed a change in Oliver's behavior since he's been playing video games, and an even further change in his behavior since you took the gaming system away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. I do have some additional questions for you. When you say the changes in his behavior, did you hear him make any suicidal or homicidal statements at all? And if so, can you talk more about that?
No, that's the first I've ever heard about that.
Okay, well, that must be really concerning for you to hear. What kinds of responses have you seen based on Oliver's behavior since you took the gaming system away from him?
Well, I think he's learned some of language that is not appropriate in our house. He definitely never heard it from us, but he's been using some profanity and definitely just acting out.
Okay. And again, that sounds very, very concerning. And it seems like as a parent, you are doing everything you can to help support Oliver right now. My job is to support you as a parent and make sure you have the resources you need. So in that vein, what would success look like for you in addressing the challenges that you're experiencing with Oliver?
I just want to take him home.
Okay.
We can deal with it there.
And that's what I ultimately want for you as well. I want to make sure that you and Oliver can go home together okay? But I want to make sure that you're set up with all the resources you need to be successful at home long-term. So what does long-term success look like as it relates to Oliver's behavior?
Well, I think I just want him to go back to, the sweet kid that he was before, and not have all these outbursts and language.
So it sounds like you'd like some support with the outbursts and the behavior and have a better understanding of where this behavior is coming from.
Yes, that sounds right.
And so I'm glad I can understand that, because that helps me understand how I can best support you. And that takes us back to the evaluation. That evaluation will help us as a team figure out what resources you as a family need and what resources we can bring to help support you and Oliver. Would you be willing to let me do that evaluation?
Well, sure, if I can sit in.
Okay. And I could understand why you'd want to be there. Generally, we don't have the parents in the room, and that's because this is a tough time for Oliver as well. And your feelings are obviously very important to him, and we want him to be able to feel free to say anything he needs to say during that evaluation. And your presence might make him be reluctant to share everything. So if it's okay with you, we'd like to go ahead and do that evaluation with him alone. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess I can understand, and I do want what's best for Oliver.
So, and that's what we want as well. So we'll go ahead and do that evaluation, and then I'll come back and you and I can talk some more. And then obviously we'll bring you in, because both you and Oliver need to be involved in this process. Your opinion does matter. And I want you to know that I'm going to be with you until we figure this out as a team. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Excellent. Do you have any other concerns, or are there any questions I can answer for you?
I don't think so. That sounds really good right now.
Awesome. Mrs. Anderson, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate your time. We're going to take our time and figure this out together.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Today, we present a unique dialogue that transcends typical workplace dynamics, featuring a conversation between a member of an organization and that organization's leader regarding a challenging policy change. This scenario illuminates the power and the flexibility of motivational interviewing within the professional realm, specifically focusing on how subordinates can effectively communicate concerns and seek solutions from their leaders. Witness the skillful application of motivational interviewing techniques as the member navigates the conversation, aiming to address the impacts of restricted overtime pay on the team's morale and financial well-being, all while fostering mutual respect and understanding. This can be a powerful tool towards ensuring stronger ties to a just culture. I hope you enjoy.
Hey Tim, how are you today?
Hey Ryan, good. How are you?
Good. You have a second to talk about the overtime policy?
Sure. Come on in.
Okay.
I've heard that there might be some concerns about it, so let's chat.
Okay.
Please, tell me what's on your mind.
Yeah, do you mind if I take some notes while we...
No,
talk?
not at all. Please do.
Okay.
I'll be taking some too, so I know.
Okay.
I can keep my thoughts straight in my mind with it.
Perfect. So I guess let's start with, help me understand kind of your thought process and kind of how this policy went about.
Unfortunately, Ryan, it's all about the budget. all about the money coming in, the money going out. As you know, things didn't go like we hoped it would have gone last November. Put the budget together. Expenses are coming in a little bit higher than what I had anticipated. We had anticipated. Overtime seems to be going up. I had to make a cut, and that's where I chose to make the cut, was in the overtime budget.
I understand the budget concerns, and it's one thing actually I enjoy with this organization is that we always come up with solutions for the financial issues. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if there's maybe some opportunity with this policy to find some other financial, options.
Well, exactly. When I came up with this decision, there was probably a few things I hadn't considered. You obviously have been talking to the staff. What are you hearing from them? I mean, beyond your own personal perspective, what are you hearing? What do I need to hear?
Well, as you said, you consider the financial burden with these decisions, and that must be hard, right? But our staff has very similar things. The price of gas has gone up. The price of food has gone up. The cost of living, housing is insane in this area, and they're feeling it in their wallets as well. And a lot of our staff, they have to have overtime to even pay their bills. I know there's a couple of them that had vacations that were planned, and they had worked some overtime or were going to work some overtime shifts to pay for those vacations. And now they're going to have to consider canceling their vacations because they can't afford it.
Man, this is going to be a difficult balance. I'm sensing that this could really impact morale as well. What are your thoughts?
Right now it's pretty emotionally driven, just because of
Bet it is.
the restraints that they're having. But to kind of summarize it, I appreciate you understanding, or at least taking the time to look at their side as well. Because from the way I understand it is, yes, you have financial restraints with the organization and the budget, but you're open to hearing that they have financial restraints as well.
I am. So if I heard you correctly, this is going to hit our staff hard. Mm-hmm. The financial impacts on their personal lives and their plans and their budgets. Maybe I didn't quite give enough thought to that. Well, I've implemented it. Do you think I should suspend it at the moment and see if we can get more input on how to proceed forward? I mean, I can't make any promises I got to find money. I've got to find money somewhere, but I do want to hear what staff thinks, what you think, what the captains think. I want to hear and be able to consider your thoughts and your ideas. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe there's a few other things that we can do, achieve the same goal. But I guess I need to have some thoughts from you and the staff.
I would say we do have a scheduled team meeting on Monday. It is already pre-scheduled.
That's right.
I've heard from the staff that they are going to show up. So that's already a budgeted item. So I know it's not a very short, or a very long period of time till then. But that could be an opportunity that wouldn't cost anything extra.
That would be. So how does this sound? What if I send out a WhatsApp to everybody that I'll temporarily suspend my policy that I put out because maybe I made a mistake. If you we communicate with staff members as well. To come prepared to the team meeting. Their thoughts, their ideas. How can we achieve the goal of sustainability for the rest of this year until we get our next question out there? That makes sense? Would that work for you?
Yeah, I think so. What I hear saying is to put out a WhatsApp, to have them be prepared to come to the team meeting, so that we can address and hear their concerns.
Right.
And at the same point, we will temporarily suspend the policy until we get some further information.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks for coming in and
Absolutely.
thanks for coming in and telling me your thoughts. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time.
You bet. Thanks, Ryan.